You can do everything right. Scrub the decks, set the asking price, write an upbeat listing, and still watch months slip by with zero serious calls. Here is what every cash buyer spots instantly: a single offhand phrase or a blurred photo, and your boat transforms from a prized asset to a discount liability. Brokers report that listings with phrases like motivated seller attract ruthless lowball offers, 30 to 50% under asking within days. If you are wondering why your boat will not sell, it is not luck. It is the 10 mistakes you cannot see, but every buyer does. Which risk signals are costing you a sale before the first showing? Let us break them down. Nothing drains value from a listing faster than the words "engine rebuilt 50 hours ago." Sellers imagine they are advertising a fresh start. Buyers see a question mark with a $sign attached. Why did it need a rebuild? Who did the work? A certified shop or someone with a YouTube playlist and a box of leftover bolts? No invoice, no warranty, no sale. The translation is brutal. Seller admits engine failed. Unclear if fixed right. Prepare for a surprise haul-out bill. Cash buyers do not play detective. They just slash their offer by 15, 20, sometimes even 25% if they bother to call at all. Now add motivated seller or bring all offers to the mix. That is the digital equivalent of blood in the water. Brokers track it. Listings with these phrases attract lowball offers, 30 to 50% under asking within 48 hours. The message is clear: I will take anything. Something is wrong. Buyers respond in kind. The serious ones skip your listing. The rest circle, looking for a fire sale. A veteran broker put it this way: you want to sell for top dollar? Do not sound desperate, do not sound mysterious. Price it right and let the facts do the talking. Every phrase is a signal. Technical ambiguity and overt desperation do not just invite negotiation, they guarantee it. Cash buyers want certainty. Give them a whiff of risk and you are not negotiating. You are bleeding equity. Type the words "unique" or "one of a kind" into your listing, and you might as well add a warning label: no spare parts, no comps, no exit strategy. Sellers think they are pitching a treasure. Buyers hear prototype: good luck finding a replacement hatch when it cracks. The translator does not pull punches. Seller says, custom teak cabinetry. Buyer hears nothing fits, everything costs double, and the next owner will curse my name. Factory standard means something in this game. It means predictable. It means a buyer can call a parts supplier and get what they need without hunting down a retired shipwright in Nova Scotia. That is why cash buyers, who do not need a lender's permission but still need peace of mind, filter out anything that smells like a science project. They are not looking for a rolling museum. They are looking for a platform that works, that holds value, and that can be resold without an essay explaining every custom bracket and oddball fitting. The resale anxiety is real. A unique boat is a boat you will own longer than you want. The market punishes one-offs. When it comes time to sell, you will be the one writing "motivated seller" after a year of silence. The fix is simple. Highlight what is proven, what is standard, what is supported. If you have a rare model, talk about its production run or its reputation, not its quirks. Certainty sells. Curiosity collects dust. Type the phrase "ready for your finishing touches" into a listing, and you are not inviting a creative buyer, you are warning off every cash buyer with a working credit score. That is code for unfinished project. In this market, unfinished means unsellable. The translation is simple. The seller ran out of money, patience, or skill, and now wants someone else to pay for the privilege of finishing the job. Cash buyers are not looking for a weekend hobby. They want to step on board, turn the key, and go. Every project boat sits longer, attracts bargain hunters, and ends up selling for a fraction of its potential. Then there is the old survey trick. Sellers think mentioning a recent survey available from 2019 sounds reassuring. But in boat years, 5 is a lifetime. A 2019 survey does not say well maintained. It says 5 years of unknowns. That is 5 years of hidden leaks, soft decks, and deferred maintenance. The only thing worse than no survey is an old survey, because it reminds buyers how much can go wrong in the dark. Cash buyers know the game. They do not just look at the date, they do the math. A 2019 survey on a 2000 hull means the last professional eyes were on the boat before the pandemic, before the latest insurance rules, before sea level started eating marinas for breakfast. They wonder what is hiding behind that expired stamp. No current survey? Expect a discount. An old survey? Expect suspicion. Every vague promise and outdated document is a red flag. Buyers are not curious. They are cautious. They are not picturing their family on deck. They are picturing their wallet bleeding out in a boatyard. The longer a listing leans on finishing touches or recent survey, the more it signals risk, not reward. Certainty sells. Nostalgia and half-truths do not. The next mistake is not what you say, it is what you show. A single photo can kill a sale before a buyer even reads the description. Distorted wide-angle shots, the infamous fisheye lens, promise a ballroom and deliver a broom closet. Cash buyers spot the trick instantly. They skip the listing. Brokers report up to 60% fewer inquiries when a listing relies on these visual gimmicks. It is not just about space, it is about trust. If a seller is willing to bend reality with a lens, what else are they hiding? Then there is the clutter. Counters loaded with half-empty bottles, cleaning sprays, and last week's groceries. The galley looks more like a garage sale than a yacht. Buyers do not see potential, they see neglect. The translation is brutal. Seller can't be bothered to clean. What else did they skip? A cluttered photo signals deferred maintenance, hidden leaks, and a seller who hopes the camera will do the heavy lifting. The result? Fewer showings, longer time on market, and a parade of lowball offers from buyers who assume the boat is a mess below the surface too. And let's not forget the classic toilet seat up. One shot of an open head and the listing is dead on arrival. It is not a joke. In buyer psychology, it is a flashing red light for mold, odor, and a lack of basic care. Brokers call it the click-away moment. The ghost buyer motif comes alive here. A silhouette steps aboard, sees the mess, and vanishes without a word. A professional photographer explains it best: honest focal lengths, natural light, and a clean, staged space. That is what sells. Before and after comparisons tell the story. Remove the clutter, close the head, shoot from the doorway with a standard lens. Suddenly, the same boat looks trustworthy. Inquiries jump, showings double, and the price holds firm. A consignment manager sums it up. We cleaned, reshot, and rewrote. Inquiries went up 50% overnight. Buyers stopped asking what was wrong and started asking when they could see it. Photos are not decoration. They are evidence. Every image is a cross-examination and the buyer is the judge. Fail the photo test and the verdict is silence. Insurance companies do not care how much you love your composting head or how clever you think your electrical setup is. They care about risk, and they have a checklist. The moment a listing mentions composting head upgrade, the underwriter imagines non-standard sanitation, a potential pollution claim, and possible denial. Surveyors run the moisture meter, sniff for leaks, and flip through the head manual. If the plumbing for a standard system is gone, the boat drops off half the insurer's lists. The fix is simple. State the facts. Composting. Head installed, all original plumbing remains for a standard head if the buyer prefers. That keeps the door open. Type the phrase, custom owner designed electrical, and watch the gate slam shut. To a seller, it is a badge of pride. To a surveyor, it is a migraine. To an underwriter, it is a fire hazard waiting for a claim. No ABYC certification, no deal. The translation is merciless: unknown wiring, no schematic, uninsurable. One surveyor put it bluntly: custom wiring without ABYC is a showstopper. Do it yourself. Lithium battery installs are the nuclear option. Insurance policies exclude unapproved modifications to electrical systems, and lithium setups without a certified battery management system are flagged for thermal runaway risk. A single note in the survey that the owner installed the lithium bank with no professional sign-off, and the insurer walks. The buyer's lender follows. The only offers left are from cash buyers looking for a 30% discount and a project they can gut. This is where the financial stakes get real. Most deals collapse before the sea trial, not because the boat fails a test, but because the insurer or lender vetoes the risk. The buyer's dream dies in a clause, not a cloud of smoke. Professional invoices, ABYC certificates, and current surveys are not paperwork. They are your only ticket to a sale. Without them, the listing is radioactive, and the only calls you will get are from scavengers. Type ferro cement anywhere in your listing, and you have just pressed the self-destruct button. It does not matter how lovingly the hull was built, how many ocean miles it has logged, or what the survey says. The moment that material appears in the specs, the algorithms go to work. Major listing platforms, from Yacht World to Boat Trader, have internal filters that quietly push ferrocement hulls to the bottom of search results. The listing is still there, technically, but it is invisible to 90% of buyers, especially the ones with cash and a deadline. But the digital filter is only the first gate. The next is the insurance underwriter. For most companies, the phrase ferro cement is a hard stop. It is not about prejudice, it is about claims history. Insurers have spent decades cleaning up after amateur cement jobs that turned to rust and rubble. They do not care that your boat has crossed the Atlantic 3 times. Their risk models do not see a proven blue water cruiser. They see a potential corrosion claim with no resale exit. The underwriter overlays the denial before the buyer even books a showing. Sometimes the rejection email lands before the buyer's inquiry does. Cash buyers, the ones everyone wants, know this. They set their search filters to exclude ferro cement before they even start scrolling. It is not personal, it is triage. They want a boat that can be insured, financed, and resold without a battle. A ferro cement hull means none of that. The pool of potential buyers shrinks to a handful of specialists and bargain hunters. The rest never even see the listing. The translation is merciless. The seller says rare, durable construction. The buyer and every gatekeeper in the process hears uninsurable and unsellable. The listing dies in the algorithm long before anyone steps aboard. That is not a marketing problem, that is a structural one. Escrow doesn't collapse in a dramatic phone call or a shouting match at the marina. It dies in silence. When a buyer's surveyor finds a mystery or an insurer quietly marks the file declined. Here is how it plays out. The seller lists the boat. A buyer bites. The deposit lands in escrow. Everything looks fine until the phrase "as is where is" or the words "custom wiring" trigger a pause. The surveyor raises a question the seller cannot answer. The insurer asks for documents that do not exist. The underwriter flags the file. Suddenly, the buyer's lender will not touch it. The cash buyer, supposedly immune to red tape, sees a black box of risk and walks away. The numbers are not subtle. 70% of cash buyers pass on listings with vague as-is language or undefined modifications. Not a guess. Broker data, year after year. That is 7 out of 10 deals dead before anyone even negotiates. The market does not wait for explanations. It just moves on, the listing sits, the seller waits. And every day the price softens, the pool shrinks, and the odds of a clean sale disappear. In this game, ambiguity is fatal. Cash buyers do not care about your story. They care about risk. I buy boats for investment, not nostalgia. I walk the docks with a checklist, not a dream. If your listing says the words "as is" without a line-by-line explanation, I am gone. If you mention an engine rebuild but cannot hand me the invoice and the name of the yard, I assume the worst. Custom electrical, unless there is an ABYC certificate and a professional signature, is a fire hazard, not a feature. An old survey is 5 years of mystery rot and hidden corrosion. You want my money? Show me proof, not promises, not stories. I want every question answered before I ever step on board. If I see anything that looks like a gamble, ambiguous repairs, missing paperwork, or do it yourself. Upgrades, I move on. There is always another boat. I am not here to solve riddles. I am here to write a check for the right deal. Certainty is value. Ambiguity is a discount or a walk away. That is how the real market works. Right now, over 60% of used boat listings stall for months, not because of flaws, but because risk signals scare off cash buyers. In a market where certainty means money, every word and photo shapes your outcome. Today's buyer is not hunting for dreams, they are scanning for liabilities. In the end, clarity is not just honesty, it is your only competitive edge. Think your listing signals confidence? Or are you still selling doubt? Let us hear your take below.